What's up everyone, it's your boy Scott. Welcome to the Scott Report, and today is a video that I know I'm a little bit late on, but I want to talk about my favorite anime from 2018 and why you should watch it. It definitely isn't a series you would expect, and given that it's a series that has been around for so long, I'm surprised because it seems like hardly anyone's even bothered to watch it. Maybe because the current generation of anime watchers tend to frown upon older anime. Yeah guys, I'm not giving up on that anytime soon, but my favorite anime from 2018 was Lupin the Third Part 5. Now when it comes to smooth, I can assure you there is no one smoother than our Sin Lupin III, the thief that has stood the test of time in his adventures going back to the 70s anime-wise and to the 60s manga-wise. There aren't too many series out there that is the epitome of smooth like Lupin III. Lupin III takes you on a tour every episode across the world as Lupin, Jigen, and Goemon try to score the best treasure and have a little bit of fun to boot. And I must mention that Fujiko Mine is my first anime waifu if I did that type of thing, and that is a rare term for me to use. If the spectacle of a heist series that possibly inspired the Ocean's 11's movies for sure. Now whether it inspired Ocean's on its own is kind of hard to determine because the original one with Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr., that one came out around the same time as this manga was going, so it's a little bit hard to tell which one inspired which directly. But again, the thrill of the heist, if that's something you're looking for, then look no further than Lupin III. And if you're looking for something with a very jazzy soundtrack, something that can rival the great Cowboy Bebop, once again, look no further than Lupin III. The music pieces in this series has always been one of my favorite anime OSTs, and they never disappoint on the music end. This series also successfully reinvents itself with 2015's Lupin Part 4, thrusting the crew into the modern and digital age, but still keeping all of the elements that made the series what it is, and that is a straight up adventure. It is also a good starting point if you want to commit to the series, but you don't want to go back to part 1 or the large amount of movies and OVAs that the series has, but at the same time you will still like to get introduced to the characters and the lore. Once again, in my opinion, Lupin III rivals the great Cowboy Bebop. Even though the episode count is intimidating, you can very well watch any part of the series and still enjoy it just as much. There are of course callbacks to older episodes or previous parts or relationships that you will witness throughout the series, but it doesn't take away from you watching the series, experiencing it on your own, and getting to know the cast. Lupin, Goemon, Jigen, Fujiko, and everybody involved, they're a ragtag team of misfits who just look out for each other first. And just when they're trying to make it in the world, it seems like something always gets in the way, that usually being Detective Zenigata. And the relationship that he has with Lupin is something that's very compelling and is a driving force to the series because Zenigata will find himself actually siding with Lupin at the time, going a little bit further than his rivalry of just wanting to take Lupin down himself. Sometimes he will look at things and say, you know what, this guy's right. Maybe I should let him go, and maybe just next time I'll get you, Lupin. And he leaves it at that a lot of times. There is a lot of gray area. Even if they have to go into that gray area and screw somebody over, sometimes that's just the breaks. Lupin himself isn't the most upstanding citizen. In fact, he's kind of a goon, but he's always had a heart of gold and a mindset that says, you know what, don't take it personal. I'm just trying to make a living. Unfortunately, you had to be the person sitting in that seat today, and he'll go on about his business and he would not care. But that's something that makes it very good because sometimes it's just good to see a character that isn't always on the right side of the law, but he's not exactly on the wrong side of the law either. It's just a man trying to make a living with his friends, even though they're doing some things that are a little bit unsavory. This series also hosts one of my top 5 favorite anime movies of all time, 1979's The Castle of Cagliostro, which is available on Netflix by the way. Even if you know nothing about the series, I highly recommend you check this movie out. It is an absolute masterpiece from beginning to end, from visual to story to music to everything that you can name in spite of its age. Also, as a fun fact, Castle of Cagliostro is actually one of legendary director Hayao Miyazaki's first films, clocking in 1979, so this predates any of the works that he did by the legendary Studio Ghibli. That's more reason to check out this film. The series is also mostly known for its comedy and its lighthearted side, but Part 5 may have been the most serious of all the seasons that I've seen of Lupin so far. Lupin almost fights for his life in a number of episodes, and the odds aren't always in his favor. And that's what I loved about part 5 the most. There are times when even friends were pitted against each other, or pride or ideals will get in the way to cause them to butt heads. Or again, one of the many times that Inspector Zenigata would put his job on the line as a cop, pursuing Lupin or rather helping Lupin because it felt right. And it's these things that make Lupin the Third as good as it is, especially the complicated love relationship or love-hate relationship that Lupin has with Fujiko and the development that they get in this series in part 5. It was a treat for people that are longtime watchers of the series, or if you're just jumping in, it'll leave you biting your nails wondering what's going to happen next with them. And boy, do I tell you, I was on the edge of my seat every week during this 24 episode run of Lupin Part 5, just wondering if they would succeed with the score they were after, or how they would escape, or even if they would escape, because there are very, very close calls in this one and always leave you guessing. If you're looking for a series that has a grounded spectacle of action, adventure, love, lust, espionage, and everything that makes a feature film so grand, slapped into 20 minutes, then I definitely recommend that you check out Lupin Part 5. Again, if you are new to the Lupin series, you can check out Part 4 and jump in there, or you can even jump into Part 5 because it is completely accessible. It was hands down my treasure of 2018. Pun is 100% intended on that. But until then, let's just jam out to that opening. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. That's enough of that. Guys, let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below. If you liked the video, go ahead and drop it a like, and if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as there's not a shortage of content for you to indulge on this channel. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. And I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.